Good afternoon. Wanted to have us cover a couple problems today. I know the trig identity stuff's been giving us focus in on some of the problems from tonight's homework. Let's look at number 19 first. My first suggestion for solving any of these is going to be trying to convert these into sines and cosines and then work with stuff from there with all of our algebra tricks we know. So in this case, we're going to end up with a 1 over cosine x on top, and then we're going to be over a cosine over sine instead of cotangent plus sine over cosine for our tangent. I want to try to create a common denominator here in the bottom. So that common denominator we can see is going to be sine times cosine. So on the left side, first of all, the top will stay the same. We'll just have 1 over cosine x. On the bottom, on the left side here, we're going to see that that's going to get multiplied by a cosine over cosine. So we'll end up with cosine squared x. On the other side here, we're going to multiply by sine over sine. So this becomes a sine squared x. And then our new common denominator there will be our sine cosine. As we take a look at that, the top part is now just going to get simplified out as 1. So this actually will simplify as 1 over cosine on top over 1 over sine cosine on bottom. And then when we divide by fractions, we're like multiplying by the reciprocal. So this becomes sine x cosine x all over cosine. And then we'll notice that our cosines will actually cancel, and our final solution is just sine x. And that's what the right side of the equation looks like, and that's what we're hoping to find. So this validates our identity. Remember, one side of the equation at a time. You don't want to be moving stuff back and forth, and we only want to change one side of the equation. For 25, let's take a look at this one. This is going to show us everything's in sine and cosine to start. So to manipulate the left side, we're going to actually multiply by the conjugate. So now we're going to end up with cosine theta times 1 plus sine theta. Okay, that's our conjugate. All over 1 minus sine theta times 1 plus sine theta. The conjugate will help us create some identities there on the bottom. So on top, we'll see we have a cosine theta plus sine cosine. On the bottom, we'll notice we have a 1 minus sine squared theta. Sine squared theta is just cosine squared. So on top, we still have cosine plus a sine cosine. And on the denominator now, we have a cosine squared theta. That's our substitution step. So as we look there, now I can simplify each side. Okay, the top part, let's split it into 2 fractions. So we get cosine over a cosine squared. And then we end up with a sine cosine. Oops, sine cosine over our cosine squared. And so in this case, we get a 1 over cosine plus a sine over cosine, which both those, hopefully we recognize and can substitute. This becomes a secant theta plus a tan theta, and that was what we were looking for. So we have proven this identity as well. Check. Okay, I'm going to move to a new movie since I'm running out of time on this one.